My name is Mel and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna be doing another page with the Ohuhu skin tone markers. Well, when filming this intro, I actually already did the page, but the SD card failed and I lost the footage. But thankfully I filmed some with my phone as well, so that's what you're gonna see. I am going to try to explain a little bit more about my process of how I use alcohol markers, specifically for portraits. I personally don't think I'm very good at explaining my process because I don't really have a set system or steps I follow or anything like that, but I'm going to do my best. When using markers, I try to think of the face as blocks of color, different shapes and different tones. I don't really worry about detail in the beginning. I get gradually more detailed as I go along. But in the beginning, it's just about blocking in those shapes and those colors. I usually build up shadows gradually instead of going in with a very dark color right away. It's hard to go lighter once the color is down when you're working with a medium like markers. There are ways to do it, but it will probably come out a bit patchy. I also just feel like it adds more richness, more depth to a piece when I build up the color versus going in with a dark tone straight away. It also helps a little bit with that fear of going too dark. I think a lot of artists struggle with that they're afraid to go too dark. But when building up color, it's a little bit easier to see if it needs more depth, needs more contrast. Just a little tip: if you struggle with values and lights and darks, I recommend staking your piece in a program that allows you to color pick. I think you can even do this in Instagram stories and just color pick random areas and see what color they are out of context, because colors look very differently depending on the context and the other colors they're surrounded with. And looking at them individually may give you a better idea of how dark or light the color truly is. I am going in with a purple and white pencil to refine the details. You can definitely just use the markers for portraits as well, but this is the way I like to do it. I chose purple instead of like a brown just to add a little bit more interest. I love my fun colors. Using a white Posca for the brightest highlights, just to really make it pop. I really like this skin tone set by Ohuhu. I think they have a good variety for both light and dark skin tones. I would recommend getting a few brighter colors as well in addition to this set, just so you can add a bit more interest to your portrait. But for things like clothes as well, they'd just be good to have. This portrait on the right, she has a really beautiful deep skin tone, and here you can really see the way I built up the color gradually. I start with kind of a mid-tone and I go a little bit darker with each marker and each layer and just build it up until it looks the way I want it to look. With alcohol markers, you can actually also darken an area by going over it with the same marker again. Just the way alcohol markers work. I'm not sure what the science behind it is, but it works that way. You can also see that while I am definitely blending the markers, there's still marks showing through, and I personally don't mind that. I don't mind seeing the marks of the marker. That's a sentence. But it all depends on your preference. If you want to blend them completely smooth, you definitely can. You might have to work a little bit quicker because once they're dry, they are a little harder to blend smoothly. For this portrait, I'm once again using a purple pencil, and this time I'm using a peach tone as well, just because the white is a little bit too bright in certain areas. I do add some white just in certain spots, but less than with the previous portrait. And once again using a white Posca for those final highlights to make it pop. These definitely didn't come out looking exactly like the reference, but that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with this page. And I hope you like watching. I hope my process kind of made sense, maybe, hopefully. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!